Huge meta-analysis just showed that the best predictor for all-cause mortality was daily activity. That's right. Daily activity predicted whether or not somebody would live or die better than anything else, including things like diabetes and smoking and age. It's insane. It's just moving. Moving will solve almost everything.
Well, as simple as that.
Wait. How does it compete with muscle?
Well, muscle. You mean strength?
Yeah, I mean that's your best correlate.
So strength is a correlate, right? So that's a great predictor, but the best predictor that they came up with.
So better than strength.
It's just activity. So
wow.
So what they found is that people. This was a huge study, 3,000 people. And it was people that moved. People that moved the most predicted how long you would live, followed by age, followed by mobility problems, followed by self-assessed health, diabetes, and smoking.
Right, because he did grip strength, to your point, right?
Yes.
Before as a predictor.
But grip strength
that's still
is also good.
Yeah.
It's great. And that's an easy test to do at the doctors, right?
It is.
But movement, you're saying, is even better. So, okay, what was the parameters like, or what would be considered someone who moves a lot?
The more the merrier in the study. Now, these are not athletes that they were measuring, so I know you could go way off. Yeah. But there was people who just
because I imagine there's a huge difference between the 80-year-old who gets 2,000 steps a day, which is somewhat active still for an 80-year-old, to the 80-year-old who gets 10,000 steps a day. I mean, that's 5 times the amount of activity, and you're still not doing a crazy 10,000 steps isn't a crazy amount. It's very realistic.
It's super doable.
Yeah, if you live a healthy life, or you live somewhere that you have to walk to the grocery store, do things like that, go to the park, do the things. Right. And so it'd be interesting to see the comparison of the elderly that did only 2,000 steps or less, and then did
what's the purpose, right?
What it was they took the groups and they moved them into categories of these people moved the most, these people moved in the middle, these people moved the least. The people that were in the group that moved the most
did the best
across the board.
Okay,
so it's an incredible safeguard. It's so powerful that it offset things like smoking and diabetes.
Yeah.
Just moving.
It makes me wonder, though, I'm sorry to do this, I know, with your studies. I just want to, I'm trying to poke holes in it, but I'm just trying to, because I would imagine the ones who also move the most are probably also more likely to probably doing some strength training too.
Of course.
Yes.
So So strength training would be considered in there with activity. The reason why strength training is so valuable is it's very protective for the minimal amount of time spent doing it. Okay, so you could do. Like we have a new program that's out, MAPS 15 Strong. So this is 15 minutes a day of strength training. That's enough to get the benefits of strength training, the majority of the benefits. To get the muscle, metabolism boost. It's also very protective. So in terms of time spent versus return, strength training wins. That being said, you want to move. You want to move throughout the day. You don't want to just strength train for 15 minutes and then sit all day long. You're way better than if you didn't, but
and
you still want to move.
I know like community and relationships is a massive part of like living longer as well. And that speaks to, if you're going to be more active, you're going to be out doing things. You're going to be meeting people. You're going to be going places. Right. Like I think a lot of it too is like people get isolated and become hermits and it's sort of a spiral where they're not going to want to leave the house. They're not going to get up out of their chair. And so it's just like the health declines pretty rapidly.
Yeah, well, my point of bringing up the strength training, because with the high volume of movement people, is I bet there's a correlate there that those are not because working out is a lot of steps, because it's not. Right, no. To your point, you could do a 15-minute strong workout and not even add 1,000 steps to your day.
No, you'll get a significant amount.
But my point is, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. Look at your own behavior. You're probably a less example because you're so consistent. But it's very obvious to me when I strength train, I just move more all day long.
Yeah.
Like I'm more like I used to talk about how
it charges me up.
Yeah, when I come home if I train today, like I plan to, I am more likely when I come. Not more likely, I almost certainly when I get home will be more active around cleaning the house and helping Katrina out than as if I don't and I get home, I'm almost certainly going to plop down on the couch and not move. And so I would think that these people, obviously, the study shows that people with all this activity, or just general activity, are much healthier than the people that don't. But what I'm saying is I bet there's also another correlate in there that is those are the people that are probably also most likely lifting weights too.
They're the most likely to do a lot of things if you're moving.
Right.
So there's a lot of connections to it. But across the board, if you look at like societies or cultures where there is a lot of smoking, but there's also a lot of movement, they live longer than areas where there's not a lot of smoking.
Counters it a bit.
I mean, look at Europe. There are places in Europe. You go to the Mediterranean. People talk about how Mediterranean, what this, that, and the other. And they'll talk about the food being healthier. Even in areas where they're eating higher processed food and stuff, they smoke like they move a lot. Yeah. Look at cities in America versus suburbs. Oftentimes, right? So living in an area where, like San Francisco, for example, driving a car is so inconvenient because the roads are just. Finding park, it's a pain in the butt. Everybody walks. So they live longer because everybody walks, everybody moves. So activity has this incredible power over your overall health. The problem is this. The problem is that our lives have been so organized to take away movement that we now have to discuss, which is why I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to talk about hacks or ways that we would help our clients increase daily activity, because you could get on a treadmill and walk for an hour and a half a day and that'll do it, but that requires you taking an hour and a half and scheduling and doing like, do you guys have hacks that you gave your clients that would help improve or increase their daily activity? And let's talk about those just so that it's something that people can do that's realistic that they can apply their everyday life.
I actually wish I remember who I could credit this to, because I don't know who I got it from. I just remember I started doing this really early. I was only 21 or so when as a trainer, and got this idea from somebody with these little sticky circles.
Yeah, like Post-its.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, they're just like little they would be colored like blue, green, yellow. They're stickers. And I found this worked really well with each client, and I would individualize it for the client. So if I had a client that struggled with drinking enough water, blue sticker would stand for a glass of water. If I had a client that we were trying to get better at push-ups, it would be push-ups for another client. If it was a client that I was trying to increase steps, it would be go for a 10-minute walk. Like it would be something like that. And then I would have them place these colored stickers strategically through their house. And the deal we made is like, hey, every time you come across the sticker, do the thing, So when you see so maybe by the fridge was the blue one, and so every time
like 10 squats.
Yeah, and so exactly. So they all had these little things, and they loved it. I think they loved maybe the gamification of it. Like now that I understand that, I didn't understand that when I did it. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to create better habits and a reminder from them. But that was a bit of a hack. Like it worked really well. I think what the science and stuff that we know about gamification of apps and stuff like that, like how valuable it is. I think I was gamifying their fitness before that was a thing.
Yeah.
And so it was a great hack. It was a great hack. And the trick, in my opinion, is to you don't make it like an overwhelming task, because if it's an overwhelming task,
You're not gonna do it.
they'll look at the sticker and be like, F this. So it needs to be like so simple that if they cross it 7 times in a day, they're not going to be like, I'll never do that again. It needs to be something very basic.
Yeah.
And when I figured that out and did that, it was a great little hack to create more movement.
One that I did, and this was during the days of the body bug. So this was like one of the first trackers.
Yeah.
And it would track activity and give you this kind of loose estimate of how many calories you're burning. But it was one of the first accurate movement trackers. This was before the watches and stuff that now are so easy. And what I would tell my clients, and I was shocked, to be quite honest, at how effective this was, because I had heard this communicated many times before, and I kind of downplayed it. I'd hear it communicated as a trainer. I'm a young trainer. I'm a young dude. I'd be like, that's not going to do much. That's nothing. Then I had these body bugs on my clients, and I had them start doing this, and I'm like, wow, this makes a big difference. And it was this. When you're going to the store, park far away.
Yeah.
When you're at work and you need to use the bathroom, use the bathroom on the second floor. So
Take
go up the stairs.
Yeah.
When you're at home and you need to use the bathroom, use the one that's the furthest away from you. Like little dumb, every time you park somewhere, park far away instead of right next to it. And this would add up to thousands of steps a day.
Yeah.
And it was literally stuff that I found
Which is really the end of the week is what you're totaling.
That's right.
It's not just a daily thing. It's like, what does that accumulate towards the end of your week?
That's right. And it was effective because it was just part of their normal day. Yeah. And it didn't take that much time. It's like, okay, fine. I go to the mall and I park far away versus right up to the store. How much extra time am I really taking out of my day? It's not a ton, but it adds up in terms of activity.
Yeah.
So that was one of them. The other one was for my office workers, people that sat at a desk, is I would have them every hour
like band pull
get
parts.
up.
They would stand up and move a little bit. Yeah. And I'd tell them, hey, stand up and walk around the office and come back to your desk every hour. And it's trivial. It seems trivial, but it actually added up to a decent amount of activity. And what they would report back is their improvement in productivity. Today's program giveaway is Maps Anabolic Advanced. If you want to win, leave a comment below this video. The first 24 hours that we drop it, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. If you win, we'll notify you in the comment section. Also, brand new program, Maps 15 Strong. So this is based off of Maps Strong program, but it's the 15-minute version. 15 minutes a day of strength training for incredible results. And right now it's 50% off. Go to maps15strong.com. That's maps15strong.com. Use the code December50 for the discount.
All right, real quick. If you love us like we love you, why not show it by rocking one of our shirts, hats, mugs, or training gear over at mypumpstore.com. I'm talking right now. Hit pause, head on over to mypumpstore.com. That's it. Enjoy the rest of the show. I've tried, a few of those techniques, and even to your gamification point, like having alarms and like specific things like that would prompt them. And so we would set it up like, okay, when do you normally have a gap? And then we'd set it up just to, and it's annoying at first because it's like one of those things that, it definitely alarm goes off and it's like, okay, I got to do this. And it was either get up and do like a 10-minute walk, or what I found actually that was a little more effective was I started to kind of prescribe more, get up and then, clean your kitchen, clean your house, get outside, do some yard work, then do a 10-minute walk, or like you have like, if you're, cause you're not always just going to get up and go do a walk, but you can always get up and clean and do something. Yeah. And I always found, dude, that you create so much movement and activity while you're cleaning your house. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, you ever get those reports?
You got what you both are saying right now. This is funny to me because if you've listened to the podcast long enough, you can go back to like hearing me like where I was like Mr. Wearable out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I was so pro wearable. Yep. And I didn't give a shit about the burn calorie. It was the steps and the activity level. And it was about bringing in awareness. That's it. I found that just simply making the client aware
increase their activity
of their ebb and flow of activity. And I think anyone listening right now, if you've never done this, it will surprise you. You will wear it for a week and go, oh shit, I didn't know that's what my whatever day looks like. And just becoming aware of that, you now are like, okay, I now see, and most people, not everybody, but most people have at least 1 or 2 days where there's massive discrepancy.
Yeah.
Massive. Like
usually the weekends.
That's right. Yeah. Usually the weekends, but some people are different. Some people have like a weird job that they do something different on Mondays. There's always, though, every client had at least 1 or 2 days that had a massive discrepancy. And I'm talking like thousands and thousands more of steps, which is more than you would even accumulate in a full hour workout.
Yep.
And so once I made a client aware of that, and we would set these just very reasonable goals, like let's say like including their 2 horrible days and the rest of the week being good, their average came out to be 7,000 steps a day. I'd say, okay, goal is now we don't ever let a day go by. You don't get 9,000, just a little bump there. And then giving them ideas, to your point, Justin, like I do this to myself. It's like there is always a garage floor to be mopped, a backyard to be cleaned up, a storage unit to be organized. You know what I'm saying? Like side of the house to be pressure washed. I mean, there is always labor.
By the way, what you're doing
and then you feel good about it.
This is what makes what you just said so powerful. Is what you've done is you've increased the value or added value to something that you probably want to do
a mundane task.
Right. So you're like, I don't know if I'm motivated to do it, but now you've added a new value to it and you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yep. You're accomplishing more tasks while being more active. By the way, here's what's important about this. This is what's cool about this. And this is true for strength training as well. You'll get about 80% of the benefits of activity with about 8,000 steps a day. Okay. After that, you start to get diminishing returns. Now, that doesn't mean you don't get more value at 10,000 or 15,000 steps. You do, but the bulk of the value that you get from moving is around 8,000 steps. With strength training, the bulk of the value that you're going to get from strength training is about 2 45-minute decent strength training workouts a week. Okay. So 80% of the value that you can get from exercise, activity, and strength training looks like 2 45-minute, like decent intensity strength training workouts and about 8,000 steps a day. Or to put it differently, 15 minutes a day of strength training, 2 lifts a day, just like our 15 series. So we have MAPS programs that are this kind of series of 15 minutes each. We just came out with MAPS 15 Strong. So it's based off of the MAPS Strong program, except the 15-minute version. If you did that, that's about 80% of everything you would get from strength training is right there.
Yep.
Plus 8,000 steps a day, about 80% of the value of activity, which is significantly more than most people are going to get.
Plus novel lifts that your body's going to respond
That's
to.
right.
And
That's right.
yeah, there's so many benefits.
By the way, 80% of all the benefits you could want from activity and strength training
Is a lot.
everybody would be happy.
It's a lot.
Everybody
dude.
would be like,
It's a
wow.
lot.
In fact, most people would say, I don't want more, putting more into this to get the extra 5-10%. It's actually not worth it. My quality of life is amazing.
This is why I
feel great.
mean,
Relationships,
in my
everything
opinion, everybody should start there and build that consistently before you decide to sign up for the other 20%.
Well said, because because what that implies is if I do more, I'll get faster results. No, what I'm saying is you will eventually hit a limit of 80% of all the potential value. But to get there faster, you could do a lot within that.
Right.
Probably for a couple years.
In other words,
before you need to do more.
In other words, a big mistake people hear is they hear like, oh, that's 80%. Oh, I'll choose the program that is the max potential
Get there
program.
faster.
And I'll get there faster.
No.
No, you won't. And not only will you not get there faster, but you're more likely to quit, fail, or get hurt.
That's right.
So you're far better off committing that, okay, you know what? I'm going to commit to this, what they're saying 80% lifestyle is. I'm going to do these 15-minute workouts for a week, or like you said, 2 45-minute strength training workouts, and I'm going to get my steps up to 8,000 steps a day. Go commit to that. Go do that for at least 6 months, minimum 6 months, and watch the benefits that you reap from that. Then if you go like, man, I'm just loving this fitness thing. I wish I could be in the gym longer, or I want to walk longer.
Go for it.
Go for it. But commit to that first and reap that 80% first, and then pay attention to how you feel, how you look, how everything's going. And then you can decide to add more. And then guess what? You know, it's beautiful because you stayed there. Boy, when you add just a little bit, you're going to see great results.
You will, and you'll progress, by the way. You're going to progress consistently for a while. I just had this exact conversation with my daughter and my niece. So my niece is 18, my daughter's 16. I've been training them in my garage about 2 or 3 days a week consistently, and they're both really getting into it, which is really exciting for me.
Awesome, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Like, and how do I know they're getting into it? They're coming to me saying, hey, can you train us today? And then they're saying things like, how fast can I get strong? How much muscle can I build in this period of time? It's been 30 days. Why don't I see results yet? And I'm breaking everything down. Like, this is how it works. And, I'm like, it takes longer and you are stronger than you were a month ago. And let's keep a journal so you can see for yourself. And so we're having all these wonderful conversations. And I talked about this 80%. And of course, they're like, well, what if we just did more? Won't we get there faster? I said, no, you won't get there faster. What I'm saying is you will reach your 80% of potential with this, not that you're going to move at 80% speed. In fact, if we do this appropriately, we'll get there faster with this approach. And this is exactly what I said. And so what we're doing is we're doing the 15 minutes a day type protocol, or you can take them all and put them on 2 days if that works better for you. Strength training plus activity. Then we talked about protein intake, of course, because they're teenage girls. And I was trying to illustrate to them how much protein they needed to eat. So it's so funny too to see them at dinner time. How much grams of protein is this? And is this enough? I'm like, well, what else did you eat today? And they're like,
Dude, don't you find this 15-minute protocol is so perfectly matched for like teenagers though too, like in obviously spaced out, not necessarily back to back like adults would do it, but yeah, I've been introducing this to Ethan and he's really taken off, doing the big lefts and just focusing on like 2 and just like grinding that out. It's funny, over the break I got myself involved again in a project with school because like Everett, he has this elective and he's has to do some project. He decided to do a pond. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, what?
Where?
A pond? He literally started digging a hole.
At your house?
At my house.
Oh, damn. I'm like, I would love for him to come to I'm trying to do that at my house, bro. I'm like, bro, you want to put it to work?
Yeah, but what do you do with the pond? You just dig a hole and fill it with water. It's going to turn into like mosquito land.
No, yeah, exactly. So you got to filter it. No, it's like, it's involved. Like, and so I had to get involved because like, I got to go Home Depot. I'm like grabbing all this stuff. I have no idea. I've never done this before. And like, he's obviously going off of stuff he's learned, in class, but like his teacher just gives him little bits and then he researches on YouTube. And so I'm just kind of going based upon what he's giving me.
I'm so pumped about this right now because if he learns how to do this well, I will hire him and pay him to do it at my house. I haven't made bro, come on. Why not?
I mean, yes, but I don't want him to screw it up. I'm doing a lot of it. Is my point.
Justin will be there doing it.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to oversee him.
Bullshit. I
got to dig in Adam's yard.
I'm for sure making a video
Is this with
of that.
shovels, or are you guys just using straight up shovels?
What else would they use?
No, he dug it all himself. My issue is I'm trying to let him do as much of it as possible because this is his school project.
Bro, digging a pond with just a hand shovel, that's a lot of work, dude.
No, it's like a real shovel, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't be a huge pond, right?
I mean, how deep do you have to make a pond?
It's not a massive pond.
It's like 2 feet or so deep.
Yeah.
Like
how wide?
It's like 4. It's not huge.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's just small. But
you gonna put koi in there? What do you do?
So I mean, I had to learn how to we built our own filter, and so like you use like lava rock and then all these like and you put in this type of fiber screen in there, and so I'm like trying to figure out plumbing. Like I know some bit of plumbing, but then like I've never done like to where so we have the pump that's in there and it's sucking it up and then like filtering it out and then kicking it back in. And so half the time, like we're in the hardware store and we're like trying to fit pieces together and like trying to make it look like it's going to work. And it's fun, dude. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I like, you realize like you're buying little parts here. Oh, that's just like, $20. Oh, that's just like 50. By the time I'm like, oh my God, this is like $300-400 we've already put into this thing, dude. I'm like, this is for school. Like I remember just doing projects where I'm like $15 and my parents would get pissed off. Like, I don't want to buy the poster board for this. Here I am buying
There's some cardboard boxes in the back.
like River Rock and like I'm all trying to like make it look cool. I'm like, man.
How have you been with your boys? Because I was talking earlier about my daughter and my niece. Getting them to hit protein is so hard for kids.
Yeah.
I introduced them to the Crisp Power because snacking is so easy. They're getting 27 grams of protein, whatever, per bag. Have you introduced that to your boys?
I brought some back that one day that we had a few bags, and Ethan immediately like took them, and we never saw him again. Yeah, and he just does that. He's on a mission right now to gain mass, and so between that and also two creatine gummies, like from like Legion, we had a few of those where he started to kind of consistently take it, and he wasn't, because. He'll like stuff for flavor and he'll eat it occasionally, but like he's actually like every day I've been watching him and he's like diligent about taking it as like a dose, and then he's like, okay, and then he'll go downstairs and he'll do a little lift. Yeah,
I love it, dude.
It's creating a monster.
That's so exciting. I got to read you guys an article, a post that was so thought provoking to me that I'd love your guys' opinion on it. This was what's his name? Is his name Brett Weinstein? You guys know who he is, right?
Yeah.
So he was on, I think he was on Rogan's podcast
recently,
a couple times.
Yeah. So someone basically summarized it. I'm going to read the summary, and I'd love your guys' opinion. I thought this was just like, it blew my mind. So this is what he said. He said, for the first time in 300,000 years of human evolution, we removed the cost from the single biggest reward nature ever invented: sex and pair bonding. So reliable birth control plus abortion means You can now cash the evolutionary lottery ticket without paying the 20-year mortgage of pregnancy, diapers, sleepless nights, and college funds. The result, an entire generation of 18 to 35-year-olds walking around with the energy, libido, hormones, and protective instincts that evolution spent millions of years calibrating for child rearing with 0 children. So that energy didn't disappear, it just got redirected. So this observation is that young women especially began treating ideologies the exact way evolution wired them to treat babies. So because they didn't have kids, which they're wired to have this mama bear, because you guys are, you know how your wives are with the kids,
Sure.
right? This mama bear protective. So now you got this whole generation of young women, no kids. It's getting now directed towards things like climate change, social justice, or whatever the cause of the month is. And it gets defended with the mama bear ferocity. The same neurochemistry that once guarded a toddler from predators now guards an abstract idea from wrongthink. So here's the second part to this. Elon is talking about how AI is going to give us so much abundance that things are going to be basically free, like sex became in the 70s with birth control. So now both of evolution's primary carrots, mating and resource acquisition, suddenly cost almost nothing. So his question is, when producing and protecting actual children is no longer the central organizing principle of adult life, and when creating wealth is no longer required for status, security, or attracting a mate, what is left to give human life direction, meaning, and structure? Crazy observation. Like, what's that's going to be like when men now are going to lose, or people are going to lose that drive to create because they don't need to?
Yeah.
What is that going to be like?
Well, yeah, and wasn't there recently, I don't know if it's in China, but they started working on like artificial wombs.
Yes.
And that was becoming a thing to where you could extract eggs, place them in this artificial womb so they didn't have to go through the
whole process.
Yeah.
What a crazy observation though, right? Like, you separate the reward of sex from what you get with it, but you still have the instincts to protect, which gets correct. And then now we're going to separate work and having to produce from the need to. I think we're entering into weird time.
To potentially poke holes in his opening statement, though. Doug could, with a quick Google search, could probably look up what percentage of people that lead climate change and all the other ones that you listed are childless women. And it would need to be a significant percentage of that for that to carry weight, in my opinion. If it's like,
if you look at political ideologies that strengthen it is.
Well, I know that's one of the strongest correlates as far as like that's where they lean.
Yeah.
But I mean, they would need to be a large majority of that movement to say that that's what they're all doing.
Well, it's the percentage of people that strongly identify in that direction fit in that category. And it's a big disparity. So that's where he's pulling from. He's pulling from that data. So when you look at young women in that age category, a huge percentage of them move in that direction. And so what the argument is that that drive, because look, I don't know.
What's a huge percentage? Are you looking up, Doug?
Yeah, they don't have stats on that really, but the climate activists are predominantly white, female, progressive, age 50 and above, middle class. So that doesn't tell me.
No, it doesn't tell you a whole lot.
Children.
But I think it's interesting, and I think it's interesting.
I mean, no, I think it's a great discussion nonetheless. But I would just, he tied something together right away. That's like, I don't know if I buy fully into that. That's who's driving that movement, and for those reasons. But I do buy into or agree with, which I've been saying for a very long time, that we are going to be in a really weird situation when we pretty much can have everything we want. And to add to that, another layer of complexity is we have these devices now that can just put us to sleep. I mean, that we're zombies. Mm-hmm. I mean, the algorithms on these that suck you in and pull you in to be, whether you're on gaming or social media, you add that with also getting and having everything you want. Like, where's the drive to do anything
well,
come
I think
from?
a good analogy we might be able to use, just because of our experience. Imagine if you separated the results that you would get from being consistent with fitness and discipline around nutrition.
Well, we might see that, right?
from the work.
We might see that,
Right,
with,
so,
like
like,
the newest
what would that
GLP-1.
I know.
What would that produce, right? What would that produce if people could just get the results without any of the
marbled muscle fat people?
You know,
well,
it's,
even if you got everything exactly the same physically,
would we just
people, I mean.
would we just evolve to idolize something else?
well, we always
like-
do.
Right. So wouldn't we just evolve to idolize something else most likely?
I
like
think it would become
when-
hedonistic treadmill is what would happen. It would just be hedonism.
I mean, it already is that.
Yeah.
It already is that. You just would pull something out and remove something else
Yeah.
out. And so,
Well,
would it be the person who has the greatest garden now? They built, because you have all these resources, but who goes and makes the prettiest? I mean, we'll find something. We will find something.
I mean, we're always the explorers, right? So it's for me, it points to places we haven't really tapped into, which is the space and the ocean.
oh, you're gonna go there.
Why? Yeah, I'm trying to set you up
You've
here.
been dying to go there.
Oh, hey, bring it up.
Justin's dying to go
Hey,
there.
bring
right?
it up. So what is this documentary?
You
I
haven't
don't watch-
watched it. I
No,
can't
no.
believe you.
No. I
The
don't
age
have
of
time.
disclosure.
You're a terrible conspiracy
I know.
theorist.
I don't have time.
You're terrible.
So tell me
Lose
about
your
this.
title.
So I don't know the title.
It's called
Age of
Age Disclosure.
Okay.
Yes, and it's supposed to be like Oscar winning. It's going to be one of the best. It was.
Okay. So you both watched it.
Well, mainly it's because they have all these verified, like high position government officials and military, speaking out and like on record, like to a lot of these
So,
accounts.
Before you guys tell me, because I don't watch it, can I tell you what my theory is?
Yeah, let me hear your
Yeah,
theory,
let's do it.
and then I'll tell you.
Here's my theory. My theory is because we've witnessed these UFOs, they seem to move outside of the laws of physics as we understand them.
Yes.
That they're interdimensional.
Yes.
I'm on point.
Do you want to hear how they explain it? Actually,
Oh well, I think I'll go the spiritual route. That's what I would say.
No,
but I think it's
that's not what they go.
Okay.
They believe they can. I mean, they have a scientific theory,
Okay.
in that it's moving using quantum physics,
Right.
and it moves within a bubble of energy,
Right.
And the energy is so powerful it could power like the entire United States 5 times over.
Okay.
And they've already had people that have
Matter
been.
just moves around it.
Yes, matter moves around it and it moves within the bubble, which is why it can keep the same speed outside of water, through water, and out,
Right.
and then out into space because it's moving within.
So what's this documentary? Just a bunch of
dude? It is over
Like interviews and videos?
35 or 34 extremely
They claim it's been
high.
80 years.
Huh?
80 years.
Yeah,
Right?
1940 something was the first documented thing. And here's why we haven't heard it. There's so many things that like blew my mind and changed my theory. So if you listen to the show long enough, you've heard me. My theory was this is all a government ploy because most everybody is on to all the fake wars that we've been doing for the last 40 years. At least now we are. We weren't then. We are starting to wake up at least. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like that's the
Three
consensus
letters.
is
So we
like
need a new bad guy.
so we need a new bad guy. And who better than space, which we can't prove, we can't see, whatever. Like let's make the bad guy out there, and then let's funnel all the trillions of dollars in that.
So now we're going to do Space Force.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like literally,
Still a
that's
valid theory.
exactly. I haven't fully abandoned
They
it.
could still use it to get that.
Well, yeah, that's the government will still govern.
So
Yeah.
so you're right. You're both right. Like I don't leave that like, oh, now we're not going to spend it. Oh, we'll still spend money there. Well, this even more so now.
But
We'll
now
probably-
you believe that there's an actual phenomenon happening.
Yes. After seeing these stories and the credible people, and then hearing how it's all unfolded. So listen,
Well-
this is how they protect it.
It's compartmentalized. Crazy.
So it's because what and they're always scratched my head is like, come on, how could have all of these presidents and all these people gone through and everybody kept their mouth shut and there's like this is how's that for this long? So they defer to a private company to hold all of this,
So that they don't have to disclose it.
So
Yes.
they don't have to disclose
have
it.
to.
So the government doesn't.
They don't even know.
They don't know. It's the private company who's in charge of all the proof and information, and only very, very high level people in military and CIA and whatever have seen some of this information that's classified that they have to sign
And
disclosures.
these secret programs, like they disrupt the actual programs the government is running
So
to
I don't
try and
think it's
reverse engineer.
I don't think it's interdimensional aliens. I think it's demons. That's what I think. I think if you look at like
that's like the Tucker Carlson take.
Well, if you look at like biblical stories, even okay. So when you look at when you research alien abductions, which as a kid I did all the time, there's a spiritual component. They speak to you telepathically. Mm-hmm. There's oftentimes a sexual component where they're either doing something to you or they're mating with you, creating a hybrid, which talks about in the book of Genesis talks about. They have some kind of they have this technology. And in many of the cases, a significant percentage of cases, when the person who's being abducted simply says the name Jesus, the alien is gone or goes away. So I think it's demons.
Okay, so I don't think it's that at all.
Okay.
And more of the stuff that blew my mind, that like how we've been so quiet about this, is where these things show up. And when they started showing up.
Military bases.
They started showing up the day we started moving nuclear war.
Yeah.
And started building nuclear bombs.
There's reports of it before that, though.
No.
Yeah.
That's the first heavy reporting from it where there was some proof. And then they all, first of all, I didn't even know we had this many military bases all over the United States. All their hundreds of sightings happen hovering over the nuclear weapon.
Just watching.
Yep. Just watching. In fact, they have footage of shooting a rocket, this thing hovering over it, shooting a beam through it here, shooting a beam here, shooting here, and then being able to take off on it. Like it looks like, and as our nuclear power has and technology has increased, the frequency that they visit has increased at that same exact rate.
They speculate they've actually dismantled.
They did.
And there's also like missing 20 nuclear warheads, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And after these sightings.
And I'm not fearful because they seem to be friendly because we fired at them and they don't retaliate.
Yeah, can you believe that? We fired.
We're fired.
Of course we did.
In the sky.
Yes.
Yeah. And they call it like nuclear testing in the atmosphere, right? Yeah. But they literally shot like these missiles in
you ever seen
UFOs.
You know what this reminds me of? You ever seen those videos where like we're flying like a plane over like a tribe that's never seen technology and they throw a spear at us?
Oh yeah. It's totally like that.
That's exactly how I think they look at us. Yeah. Like I literally think it's like laughable. Yeah. That we're so far beyond your technology.
I mean, the reality is if that's real and they wanted to take us over, they could. Yeah. Easily with that kind of technology.
Well, so that's to me what it seems like from watching the documentary, right? Is that they're paying attention to as we continue to progress with things that could kill ourselves, and they will only intervene in that point where it's like where we're at that point, or where we actually have enough technology where we could actually do anything harmful to them, and so they're just keeping a close eye. But it's like they have no intention to. They would have hurt us a long time ago if it was about hurting us.
I do think it's interdimensional demons. That's what I think.
That's
I don't know why that's any crazier.
Really know the thing, but yeah, I think it's interesting because like these reports are pretty valid and they're backed up, and there's a lot of like undisclosed evidence that they're holding on to. Like the thing is like how long has this persisted? And you see like throughout like history, you see depictions of it in ways that they point to it, and everybody's kind of disregarded a lot of like old ancient like depictions of it in paintings, and because it's that's ridiculous, right? Like we shouldn't know about this like that long ago, and the thing is like they're speculating that we've been able to successfully reverse engineer now certain things, and that's why we're starting to see it emerge, but not everything. And so the latest race isn't AI. The latest race is because they know China has some, they know Russia has some crafts that they've recovered, and everybody's kind of simultaneously working is ferociously.
Here's my question.
So another thing, supposedly a lot of our technology that we have has come from all this stuff.
So again, if they're so smart and so advanced, why would they allow us to recover a vehicle or aircraft and not take it back? Right. It doesn't make any sense to me. What makes sense to me,
or they allowed it.
That's right. It would make sense to me. Like these stories of.
I think they're literally timeline. They're allowing certain pieces of knowledge to drip into our culture
again.
At certain
look at the stories.
Stages.
Look at the stories of demonic influence on the world and the technologies and what they cause. It makes perfect sense.
Sure. I mean that's all.
And by the way, it's just as crazy as your theory. So stop making those cases. It's all
without
crazy.
Well, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, the one that first kind of came out about Area 51.
Yeah.
But he was trying to describe like their intention was, he said something about like looked at us as empty vessels.
Yeah.
And meaning, like basically we're vessels for souls.
Yeah, exactly. And what does it say? There you go.
So just to give you that.
It's a lot of the talk is very spiritual.
I mean,
in
nonetheless,
nature.
the thing that I found so interesting, because I didn't buy into none of this stuff for forever.
You do?
Well, to see that many credible like I've always, at least my experience, because obviously I don't go down the rabbit hole as much as you guys have watching a lot of that content. Most of the guys are kind of a little kooky,
of course,
like that are out there, and it's like, of course, it's that guy who saw the aliens. You know what I'm saying? But this is like high level, respectable military people saying things like, "Oh, there's no doubt what I have seen."
I think it's interdimensional.
And there's
I don't
enough
think it's
of them going like, okay.
I don't think it's a planet that we could travel to. I think it's another dimension. I think this is the motivation, in my opinion, for why they do things like these hadron colliders and these crazy experiment.
Do you know they shot nuclear missiles into the Van Nuys like radiation belt?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, that's cool.
It's crazy. I didn't know that. I was like, I think they're trying to see like if there was a way they could like get through, because like, let's be honest, there's another conspiracy, but like, how far have we really got?
Yeah. Well,
in space.
I saw this video of this dad like freaking out because he's looking at the moon landing.
Yeah.
And when they take the first step and he's like yelling at his son, "Who's taking the video? If this is the first guy, who's taking the video? You're telling me there's another guy on the moon taking
shenanigans, dude."
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. What's going on here?
The moon is weird too. Anyways,
You believe the moon?
you believe in the moon?
I know. Anyway,
How was everyone's break?
It was
great. Thanksgiving. I mean, we haven't seen each other in a hot minute. Everybody chill. I didn't chill at all.
Yeah.
So
what do you mean? You just hosted a bunch.
You had like 40 people.
40 people for Thanksgiving, dude. That was the biggest Thanksgiving I've ever been a part of.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
sounds like that's a Sunday for me.
Yeah. I'd say 40.
But hosting is a big deal, bro.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you guys over the top host too. You don't just host.
You're
not like potluck.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out because that's another thing because like I would do it that way. I'm just like, I mean, I would. The house, we have enough space where it's just like people can find a place to eat. Like, it would be total.
No, you guys do the whole like.
No. Yeah, Katrina wants this. Like, first of all, that's her tradition. Is every year, doesn't matter whose house is at, she does the table, and the table is a multi-week building affair of like figuring out the perfect color coordination, the seating arrangement, meeting with the party planner on the color scheme and the plates and the silver. Like,
you do the whole thing.
Yay.
Oh yeah, no, that's that. So she does that normally anyway. In fact, there's one of my boys' days where I just take Max for a full day or weekend sometimes. Is her going to figure out the table. Like that's a yeah. And then there's a day of all the girls get together and like all the desserts get made. Yeah. That's a full day of everyone getting together. Wow. And there's another full day of coming and decorating.
That's also nice.
No, yeah, it's a lot, dog. I mean, I'll say, it was my favorite Thanksgiving I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Oh yeah. My heart was there was multiple times I caught myself emotional, where I was like, where I was taken back by the moment. I had most of the team with me too. You know that, right?
I saw.
Yeah. So I had a lot of the trainers with me. We that all the ones that were not flying back home or had family here, I brought to my house. So that's part of how we got to 40. So it wasn't just my family. And so there was a point there. And so one of the things that has always bothered me about Katrina's family Thanksgivings when we have them at everybody else's house is they aren't sports people. So they don't watch football.
So it's not on the TV.
Football on Thanksgiving is like, to me, that's
you
part
had that going on.
Yeah,
we had to hack that. Like me and my brother-in-law, like he brought this projector and we just put it against the wall and we made it happen. I was so happy.
So prior Thanksgivings, I carry around this little TV. I bring it and plug it in somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And just, now that we can stream, I can do that. So I just connect to the internet and I kind of have it, but it's never a thing. Like you don't sit around. I don't have to put it outside or out of the way or what that, but it's at my house and I got that big 100-inch. And so football's playing 24/7. So there was a point. It was like the best moment for me. We had the beautiful table set out. We just finished eating. We've got most of everybody circled around the fire. Obviously, it's dark at this point. The fire and all my fire things are lit, and cowboys are playing in the back. I got my feet up at the fire. My brother-in-law is playing the guitar and singing, and just like I'm like,
oh, that's nice.
Oh, I'm like,
that's so nice.
Yeah. Drink in my hand.
So that was good.
Yeah. So was it? So
who beat the Chiefs?
The Cowboys did.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a perfect
Cincinnati Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been better. Couldn't have been better for me. A lot of work though. A lot of work to get into it. A lot of work to clean it and do all that stuff like that. But for that moment to be taken back multiple times emotionally, which is not so normal for me, and especially a situation like that, I was like, okay, it's worth that.
Yeah. How's your sleep, by the way? Are you normal now?
No, not normal.
You look healthy.
Yesterday was my first workout.
Yeah, you look healthy.
So yesterday was my first workout. I've my routine now. I just actually opened my first energy drink. So I've moved to my green and red juice starting my mornings now. Mm-hmm. I feel kind of like you right now because I had to. Like I've gotten pretty consistent with like all my supplements.
Do you have a supplement bag?
I do. Well, it's kind of like a big thing that I move around the house. Or like
you need a bag, bro.
But I don't have. I'm gonna need one with where I'm going. But I've actually been pretty consistent with all the stuff, mostly out of necessity because it makes a difference.
Yeah, good.
It's funny. Just all honesty, I've never been a big supplement guy. I'm not consistent with it. We've talked since the beginning of this podcast. The big rocks,
of course.
Eat well, sleep, train, stuff like that. But when your body's really messed up and really depleted, you feel that stuff.
Anything makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel I can tell a difference when I take all the things, and I don't. It's and I think it obviously has a lot to do with what my body's recouping from. And so it's a trip. It also it makes me feel good about okay, this stuff is like legit.
I just read a huge study on developed nations. Nutrient deficiencies are way more common than people think. Way more common.
Yeah,
a majority of people would benefit from supplementing with some kind of a high quality multivitamin. A majority of people.
Yeah, I believe.
And it's just, here's the deal. Like, first of all, our food isn't very nutrient dense. And even if you eat appropriately, it's hard to get all the nutrients you need with the amount of calories that are going to give you, that are going to make you healthy. You eat a 2,000 calorie diet, you're going to get 2,000 calories worth of nutrients, even if it's super healthy. And that typically means you're missing some. So I just read this huge study on it. Yeah. I firmly believe a good quality multivitamin is a staple now.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like completely whole foods based, and even then, you have to eat a lot. I feel like we're deprived of a lot of the soil nutrients we used to
depleted.
Get. Yeah,
it's depleted.
So we have to. We almost totally. It's necessary.
Yeah, part of my goal from this whole situation is to maintain this kind of supplement stack of consistency that I've never been able to really do.
You look really healthy, dude.
I appreciate that because I don't quite feel there because of my sleep, right? Yeah. Although my sleep score last night was, I think, the highest I've had, which was 78. So for me, that right now
is that good?
That's amazing.
Oh,
right
good.
Now. Oh yeah, no, I was. I didn't know Aura could score as low as what it did. It's like you could apparently get single digits.
Oh, wow.
They were calling you.
Yeah. No, it's it gets pretty. Yeah, no, it's so funny. It's so funny you just said that. I actually was like, I wonder if someone from Aura is going to call me soon because they're going to think like this guy has to be on his deathbed.
Are you alive? Yeah.
You would think they would actually have some sort of a because they have all that data. So they would think you'd have some sort of flag that goes off. Hey, if someone hits this many days at this rate,
you get a phone call and you can pay extra for coaching.
I mean, something like, wouldn't you think that there would be like some sort of like service? Yeah. I mean, not that I wanted that at all. I didn't want that, but I mean, that crossed my mind. I'm like, there's got to be somebody on the other end that knows that I'm getting this like horrific sleep or not any at all. So
interesting.
Yeah, right.
It's like a business opportunity. Right?
I know there is. There's an opportunity there for somebody to call that person and be like, hey, can I help you with your sleep? I see that
And then you
Integrate
can
it with
sell
Life
products. You can sell coaching.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By falling.
I learned something really interesting over the holidays. So I got. Do you guys ever get the hiccups?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever had the hiccups where it's like 2 days worth, where it's like on off like 2 days? Has that ever happened to you?
Not in a million years, but
Okay.
yeah.
Rarely has ever happened to me, but it happened to me over the holidays where I had hiccups in the morning. Nothing I did made it go away. Finally, after a couple hours,
Did you drink something too fast?
I don't know what I think it was acid reflux, I think.
Yeah.
Finally made it go away. And then it came back again. This happened like 3 or 4 times in one day. So frustrating. It would last for like an hour and a half. And it was just making me want to pull my hair out. Super frustrating. The next day it was happening again. And I'm on Google. I'm on the internet. And I know like drinking water, holding your breath. Holding your breath is what typically would make it go away, but it just wasn't working. You could also take a big gulp of water while hanging upside down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
That's always
swallow.
worked for me.
Okay, so that didn't work for me. Nothing was working. So I'm like, and I don't know why I randomly thought this.
Isn't this your big Huberman? He has like a protocol for that.
Well, listen, it was really starting to piss me off, bro. Like when you're trying to talk, and then I was getting this fear, like, what if they never go away? How am I going to podcast?
What if they never go away? I'm gonna be hiccuping on the podcast.
Bro. Only you.
Bro, 2 days worth?
What if I never stop hiccuping?
2 days
How am I
worth?
going to podcast on Monday?
Listen, I lost my ability. 2 days worth. It was frustrating. So I'm like looking it up.
That would be annoying. I would scare you.
I know it's related to the central nervous system. I know it's a reflex.
Yeah.
So I'm like, central nervous system, CNS. So I just randomly looked this up. Can an orgasm stop hiccuping? Wow. There was the case of a man.
So you
Pitch that to
convinced
your
your
wife?
So you convinced your wife.
I promised her I wouldn't tell that part, so we're not going to go there. I just kind of did though. There was a case.
Honey, this is medicine.
So I don't know. I'm like, because at this point, I'm like angry. I can't figure this out.
You got to save my life.
I'm
honey.
holding
you
my
gotta
breath.
Save my life.
I'm so mad. So I went online and I looked that up because I'm out of just Hail Mary. Like, let me look this up. And there was a case of a man who had hiccups for like 60 days, would not stop. Doctors were trying to figure it out. And it stopped after he had intercourse and had an orgasm. So that can actually stop, apparently, can stop hiccups. Because it resets the CNS.
Thank you, Jessica. You saved the podcast.
No, that's not what we did. That's not what we did. We didn't do anything like that.
I tried that one time with tooth pain.
I just looked it up. What? With tooth
it
pain?
works. Yeah.
Whose tooth was hurting?
Mine. Of course it was mine.
You didn't do the whole like, oh, my tooth hurts.
I'm like, let's try something.
No.
Yeah.
You know, in that, it's funny when in that moment of that kind of pleasure, your pain, your ability to I don't know if it's your perception of pain dramatically reduces.
I think that's
dramatically.
What it is. Yeah.
It was one
There's
of the,
actually, you can actually look it up. It's pretty
It was
wild.
one of the only things that gave me relief during this whole process, but I only get it for like 2 minutes, dude. That's it. 2 minutes afterwards, I get this you get the flood of the endorphins, and I actually would feel
Just an
normal
average guy.
and feel good. What'd you say?
No, he's not talking about how long it took him. That's not what he said, Justin.
Super average.
He's saying after.
Okay.
Justin's like, wow, that's twice as long.
Wow, good job.
Wow, how'd you last so long?
More than 30 seconds.
No, I drug that part out as long as I could because during that was the only time I felt okay too. No, that it would be a trip though. The relief. The cold plunge would do that. The sex would do that. What else would do that? Like I'd have these moments.
Slow hugs from Justin.
No, that wouldn't quite do it.
No.
If it did, I would have held him for
Should've
sure.
rubbed his back a
What
little
if that did? Hey, what if that? Hold on a second. What if he was like, really like, guys, I need you guys to hold me.
I wouldn't even ask. I would just hold you guys. I would just fucking
lean
down
into
with
us and be like,
That's how bad it was?
Yes,
Oh,
it was
God.
that bad.
I-
It was that bad. I would have.
We would have held you, bro. And then I would have saved it though. in
Like,
my
don't
mind.
film this.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
make fun
Please
of Adam
don't
after
film
this.
I mean, I wish. Poor Katrina. I mean, remember when I was going through that, she was just like, "I wish I could do something for you." I'm like, well, "There's only one thing you can do, and I can only do that like one time, and then after that, I'm pretty
it's a
much
one and done.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's it. You know what I'm saying? So you can help me with that, and then I'm on my own, I guess.
But you're on the mend, Drew. You're out. You're almost out.
yeah. It was.
What, a month?
Yeah, bro. Actually this Wednesday which is in 2 days, will be a month. Can you believe it took that? It's taken that long.
Well, you were.
Yeah, I was tip top loser.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just, talk about,
Tip-top loser.
bro. I was like, what a shot.
That's your
to-
hip hop name.
Yeah, dude, that was. I mean, of course, I've been like, I still to this day I can't help myself. I'm still like researching and watching and like still trying to consume as much.
And you said for sure it's Kratom's illegal in California.
Yeah, they're pulling them off all the shelves. They have been for a while now. I haven't been into. It's not like I've been in to look
but
for,
not the freaking stronger version.
Not the 708.
Super concentrated.
I know,
Not the one that'll kill you.
Just remember, I brought this up because you guys are going to see stuff on the news. You're going to be hearing stuff about it because there is no doubt all the people that were taking Kratom in California will.
They're going to switch to the stronger stuff.
100% they will. 100% they will. That will be the direction. I mean, my DMs have been flooded all month, and so first of all, if I haven't did it on the podcast, I mean, I really, it's been amazing. There's been a couple people that I got choked up and cried. They were like, people left voice messages that were really emotional and said some really, really nice things. Very, very supportive. Everybody was like, I didn't get any of the, like I had like some of my family were like, I can't believe you talked about that. Like, why would you do that to yourself? I said, you know what, honestly.
It probably give you a sense of purpose, I'm sure. You hear from other people. And
well, I mean, first of all, I mean, you know me. I'm just who you asked me. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, you don't hide.
No matter what. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the truth. So it's the truth, and we talk on this podcast, and so I wasn't going to lie about it or pretend. So, but everybody's been amazing. I mean, the amount of messages, and what probably has made me feel the best about talking about it is the amount of people that have messaged me saying, "Oh my God, your story, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore." Or I had even some parents that were like, "I'm so glad you talked about this. I had no idea. I know my son uses this or does this." And so I had parents that had their kids that were buying and using it. And that, again, you think nothing of it. It's a plant. It's an herb. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Unless you understand it's from the opiate family and acts on the opiate receptor, which is the same as Oxycontin or Vicodin or heroin, you just don't think like that. Or you rationalize like I did, it's like a tea, I'm fine. I'm not having that much. And so, the people that had said that, and I've had an overwhelming amount of joy and happiness during misery, which is so
that's spiritual.
So for 100%. Like it's because I know I've had some people.
Wonderful when you feel blessed during challenging moments.
Well, you're doing the right thing and you get rewarded in a different way.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, and I really, even because Katrina kept asking me like with because the sleep has been really hard and stuff like that, and she checks in with me like, "How you doing? I know you haven't had any good sleep. Are you this? Are you that?" And I'm like, I've even accepted the terrible sleep for a while because I think all of it was necessary. The acute hard week was scary, miserable, rough type of deal. But even the long lasting effect, it's like, it's so easy for me to go like, oh my God, to have to go through those 30 days again. Like and to even know that I'm not even completely out of it. Like, yeah, there's not even a question of, what I do know though, going through this is like, I could see where somebody else without the willpower would relapse because you start to feel like you're in the clear, 2-3 weeks, you think, oh, I should be getting better. I'm better now. And then you have these really just rough nights where you still don't sleep or you don't do good. And then you're like, it'd be very easy to like, God, I just need a little bit of relief. Let me do it one time.
My withdrawal was, but I was using minimal, but my withdrawal lasted, it was 2 or 3 days of extreme fatigue. That was it. And then my withdrawal total, maybe a week or two, but it was pretty mild. It wasn't in comparison. It felt to me terrible. Right. But when I hear your story, I was like, oh man, I went through nothing.
Yeah. Oh, just do the math on the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
It's like, so it was whatever percentage that much worse.
Yeah,
probably
I know.
based off of that. So
you had to win.
I mean that part of me, I definitely felt like such a big loser when I seen like there's some people that obviously were doing harder stuff, obviously, but in the Kratom world, I couldn't find anybody that was doing more per day.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Most people that but I see what they did was most people that got to that level went, the fuck am I doing 50 pills in a day? I'll just go to the 7OH and take 3 to 5.
Is that how strong it is?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So someone could literally die.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Of course you can overdose.
Would you? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At that high concentration.
That's scary. That's nuts.
organ issues.
So irresponsible.
Well, I think that's why it's so sad. They're just now pulling Kratom for that, and it's only in California because I know I told you I ordered from Nevada because California was banned. But I couldn't even you couldn't even buy from Nevada and ship to California. California is definitely shutting it down. But to shut that down, but not shut down 7-OH is worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way the laws work.
It's so funny
it takes
how
a while.
It is. It's so funny how, but it's like whoever. It just shows you that just the bureaucracy, how stupid it is. It's like whoever made the decision, to sign off that we're going to ban this thing. It's like you don't have a person next to you, like kind of like giving you the 411.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you may as well do this too.
Yeah, you may as well do this thing too, because just so you know, they're all going to stop buying that, and then they're just going to buy this, and that's extremely worse for it. So don't do this and not that. Why don't you wait till you get the approval on this, and then do them both?
Bro, you talk about how dumb bureaucracy is. Elon was getting interviewed, talked about Doge.
Oh God.
You know what they did? So you know what they did that's probably saving us about $200 billion a year?
200 billion?
Easy. All they did is say, if you want money, you have to put in the code, the congressional code that approved it, and then in this field, write something, anything, but just something like it's going to this. Because they required those two things, $200 billion saved because suddenly all these people weren't asking for money. Suddenly, all these people were
he was going to.
What does that mean?
Dead people, made up people.
It was just money we can't track going who knows where. It was literally fraud.
Yeah.
Hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money going to
the ether.
To who knows.
And then somebody out there collecting it.
All they did was that. All they said was, if you want this money, here, put the code of the approval, and then just write something here. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't even say what you had to write. Just write something. And suddenly, $200 billion saved.
Yeah.
What? Well, how crazy is that?
It's so crazy. What's the
what theft? What terrible theft?
I get so angry. I get so angry that we breeze past that, and we're so concerned about that is what we need to stay. Let's just stay there and deal. We're not going to deal with this. Yeah. We're just going to lift the rug up and be like, oh shit, and then just put it back.
That's why he said we fail. The Pentagon failed every audit. He goes, they just fail because
trillions.
We just don't know where we see the money leaving, but we have no record of anything.
Well, they even said that a lot of that waste went to these programs,
these private programs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perfect example of where billions, maybe trillions of dollars have gone. Is this private company who is basically holding all the information around UFOs, so it's separate from the government. We got to write all those people big checks to keep doing that, but yet we can't put it on the books because it's not part of it's just a bunch of.
I know.
And if that's for you, what else do we have like that? I mean, how many of these private entities do we have that are shielded from the Constitution, so they can do this all this
hundreds
crazy
of billions of dollars worth apparently?
But we're supposed to be the ones scared about our tax returns.
Yeah, but if you Apple pay someone more than this much, they're going to come collect the taxes on it or whatever. Get out of here, dude. Get the hell out of here.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. That pissed me off.
Brain FM is engineered music that induces different states of mind, as proven by fMRI studies. In other words, you listen to Brain FM. If you listen to Focus, your brain starts to get more focused. We can prove this. If you want to go to sleep, your brain starts to make you want to go to sleep. Meditate, focus, sleep, and more. They even have a workout type of music on there that gets your brain in that state of mind. It's incredible. Try it out for 30 days. See for yourself. Go to brain.fm/mind pump. It's free for 30 days. Here comes the show.
Our first caller is Amber from Texas.
Hi, Amber.
How you doing, Amber?
Hello.
Hola, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you guys again. It's been about 10 years, back when Sal still cussed and Adam didn't have any kids, back in Encinitas.
Oh, yeah. That's right. How can we help you?
Fiore Live.
That's right. How can we help you?
So my question is, I've been on a GLP-1 now going on 2 months. I didn't really have a lot of weight to lose, but it really has helped with the food noise. I was diagnosed with an eating disorder when I was in high school, so back around 2004, very severe. So I have tracked my food in some form for over 24 years. I mean, I'm talking writing it down on an app or something. So I really wanted to see if this would help with the food noise, and it has. Now, I know you guys have a GLP-1 specific workout program. So my question is, I have a lot of MAPS programs already. I'm right now finishing up MAPS Anabolic. I think it's like the third time I've done it. So should I get the GLP-1 even though I'm experienced with lifting, or is that more for someone that is new to lifting?
It depends on where your calories are at. We wrote that with the understand, first of all, we went through and took a couple groups of 50 people that were on GLP-1s before we wrote it. And one of the things that we quickly recognized was very few, if not any, were eating enough calories to sustain a MAPS anabolic type of a workout. They just struggled to even hit protein intake. Their calories were, 1,500 or less. And so we wrote that program with the idea that a lot of these people are going to be struggling to be eating sufficient calories. And so most MAPS programs are not ideal for that low of a calorie intake. And so it's very different in comparison. Now, if you're taking maybe a microdose of GLP-1, or you're not using a lot, or it's not suppressing your appetite that much and you're still able to eat 1,800 plus calories, then maybe you're okay. But that hasn't been our experience. Most people that are on taking a GLP-1, it's crushed their appetite. And then training something like MAPS Anabolic on, say, a 1,500 calorie diet is just not ideal. Do you know where you're at?
You're right, because since I've started it, the food noise has gone down. And yeah, I mean, my calories were at 1,900, which might have been already low to begin with. But I was looking back through my app, and there was one day where I completely forgot to eat, which has never happened to me before. Food's always on the brain. But now it's like 1,200, 1,500. And I've never had this before where I've struggled to eat. And so that, I'm not microdosing. I guess I got the GLP-1 in a not so legal way maybe, but there's no microdosing with this one unless I maybe just use a smaller syringe or something. So maybe I could try a microdose, but you're right, my calories have been very low. My protein has not been maybe 100 on a good day.
Amber, is it okay? Do you mind? Is it okay if I'm direct with you?
Please.
Is that all right? Okay. So
yes.
What was the eating disorder when you were in high school?
I was anorexic, strictly anorexic. I was about 2 inches taller than I am now, and I was 84 pounds.
Okay. The last person that should use a GLP-1 is someone who's had an eating disorder like anorexia.
Yeah.
So what you've done, again, is if you don't mind me continuing, is taken this control, which is a challenge. It's what a lot of times what eating disorders result from or flow from is needing to control things. And you've added now a chemical way of doing that. So it is, you're setting yourself back right now, Amber. The worst thing you could have done is gone on a GLP-1. And what you're talking about is food noise.
Yeah.
Is just your fear of needing to eat.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Which probably never went away. And you did mention you got it in a not so legal way. So I'm assuming you got a research chemical, because I don't think there's a doctor that would have prescribed you a GLP-1 with your past. And also you're not a candidate for it. You didn't have a lot of weight to lose. I remember you from a while ago, and I know you've been following us for a while, so I'll see your comments sometimes. So is there anything we can do to get you off this and to address like the root of what's going on?
Well, my anxiety is, and I don't know again, because the only difference I've been doing is a GLP. My anxiety has been like extreme, and I don't know if maybe it's a vitamin deficiency or whatever, but I have been maybe wanting to see someone, for mental health. I've seen people in the past, long ago when I had an eating disorder, most recently because of some stuff that happened with my daughter. So it wasn't really me going for me. It was for her. So, I mean, I could, maybe start talking to someone about it again. But no, you're right. And I really appreciate you being direct. That's what I've always appreciated about you guys. That's how I respond best. People just telling me what I already know, and that's the case. I know with a lot of people that call in, but just something that someone else needs to tell me.
Yeah. If you want to get out of this abusive relationship you've had with your body and yourself, you got to move in that direction. The GLP-1, what that did was it emboldened and strengthened the feeling of control that you have, which is a temporary feeling of relief. So it's taken away what you call food noise. Really, it's taken away your hunger. So now it's easier for you to control what you eat, which can feel therapeutic if it's a constant war, but it's not. It's not therapeutic. It's as therapeutic as alcohol would be to make me feel better in the moment, right? But we know that what that ends up resulting in. So I think you need to work with someone and get off the GLP-1 and really start talking about the root cause and not focus so heavily on your body or your fitness. I really think that's the way to go because the direction you're going right now is going to result in disaster if you keep going down this path with the GLP-1.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, and I will. I'm actually on the board of a mental health nonprofit, so I have resources. I know where I can go.
Good.
So.
Good.
Do it.
I'm glad you called.
Here's what we're going to do then, Amber. Not saying I don't believe you, but I'm going to have you back on in 60 days so we can follow up, okay?
Okay.
That's your accountability. That's your accountability from us.
Yeah. We're going to keep talking to you.
All right. I appreciate it. And guys, I just want to let you know that I work for iHeartRadio and, I'm on air on the country station. So I'm always, promoting the iHeart podcast. And I'm always talking about you guys and things that you have to say. So
thank you.
I'm always advocating for people to listen to your show in any way I can.
Appreciate that support, Amber.
Thank you. And we appreciate you, Amber. I know you've been following us for a while, so we appreciate you.
Much love.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. We got to have her back on.
Yeah.
I knew right away when she said GLP-1.
Well, yeah.
And then she said eating disorder. I was like, ooh.
I know.
That's the
not the candidate.
Yeah, if you had a real challenging struggle with control with food to the point where you starve yourself, to the point where you're diagnosed with anorexia, then using a medical intervention that takes away your appetite is really not a good idea.
Yeah, no doctor would prescribe that.
No. And so what she did is it's like, I'm trying to control this thing. And she managed it after high school, I guess it was when she said, through counting macros. So there was still a strong element of control. Mm-hmm. The difference was she wasn't starving herself, but she was tracking and counting everything, which is exhausting.
Yeah.
And so the relief is like, let me get on this medication that takes away my hunger. Mm-hmm. And then I don't have to track and manage this anymore. Now I'm going to control it through medical intervention rather than tracking. Mm-hmm. But it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Except now with the GLP-1, what will happen, which is already happening, is she's going to take the doses that make her not eat. And so what this is looking like now is 12 to 1,500 calories, maybe less. What it's going to look like later is 600 calories, 500 calories as she starts to up the dose.
Well, and even at where they're at calorie-wise, they're just deficient in nutrients. So you're going to start seeing things come up.
You can starve yourself two different ways.
Hair thinning.
You can starve yourself slow or fast.
Yeah.
And a slow starve is like 1,000 calories a day. It's a fast starve is nothing. And I believe that the direction she'll go is she will learn to up the dose as she starts to lose that relief. And it'll just kill her appetite, which will, which is dangerous.
Disaster.
That's right.
Our next caller is Casey from Michigan.
Hi, Casey.
How you doing, Casey?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How can we help you?
Good. So my question is based around having 2 young kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom and not getting great sleep. So I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And like my son's bed, we just kind of have it in our room. I've always kind of co-slept with our kiddos. So I wake up with every like noise, movement, I feel like. And so I haven't had a full night's sleep in like 4 years. And so my son didn't start sleeping through the night until after my daughter was born. And now she's 1.5 years and still wakes up a little bit during the night. So my watch says I typically get like 20 to 30 minutes of deep sleep a night, which I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels pretty accurate since I'm just waking up at little things. And so my question regarding programming is if I should stick with MAPS 15. I did that for a while postpartum and felt good. Like I really liked the program. I liked doing just a little bit every day, especially with the kids. It made it easy to do a little bit. Since I'm running there with me, I just work out at home. So we're usually playing in between sets and things like that. And so I tried switching back to anabolic just to do something different. And I felt like if I pushed it, like if I was really pushing the weight, I did kind of like 205 for deadlift one day for a couple reps, and just the whole next week felt kind of crappy. And so I feel like I just am at the point that I can't do too much without overtraining right now. So, which before I had kids, I did bikini competitions. I have lifted for over 10 years. So I really love lifting and doing more, but I'm kind of wondering if I just shouldn't yet. Or if I know you have some other like MAPS 15 programs now, if I should try one of those instead, or if it's just, what do you think?
Casey, your intuition is spot on. Your intuition is spot on. You should stay in the we have we had just dropped Muscle Mommy 15, which is incredible.
Do you have Muscle Mommy 15?
No, we have like a lot of the programs. We have the just like regular MAPS 15. That was the one I had been doing.
We'll send you the Muscle Mommy 15 one, and then after that, if you want to try something different, you can do the MAPS 15 Performance. But that's where you stay. That's where you stay right now. Yeah. Your intuition is right. But, you look great.
By the way, God
built a lot of muscle in the past.
You can tell. I can see your delts and your arms.
So you're good.
Yeah, perfect amount of volume for you.
And God bless mothers, man. You guys you sacrifice so much for your kiddos. How much is the poor sleep impacting your whole life? Are you like okay, but okay, this is kind of hard?
Which I will say, most of the time I'm okay. Like most of the time I feel good. Like I feel like I've always been pretty healthy. Like, and exercise is like just really like that's kind of my one like me thing I do which I have the kids with me, but I just love to get my workouts in. But like when my daughter's teething, I feel like the last couple of weeks she had 4 teeth coming in, and like there were a couple of days it just definitely was like, okay, I'm very tired.
Yeah, you know, the reason why I asked is because if it's really impacting your life, it's like, okay, let's maybe come up with some strategies where you can get like a night of good sleep here and there, but it just sounds like you're doing okay. Adding extra stress, there's only a limited amount that you could do. And I think MAPS 15 and that protocol is going to be good for you for a while. And now I want to be clear too, because you have a lot of experience strength training. It's not as if MAPS 15 protocol isn't valuable even to advanced lifters. Here's the difference.
I'd say it's more advanced.
Here's the difference.
Yeah.
If you followed MAPS 15 with perfect sleep, Casey, let's say you had perfect sleep, everything was fine. You go to bed, 8 hours, great deep sleep, and you're like, well, would it change anything? Well, yeah, you would just be a lot stronger. The volume would naturally increase with the same programming. So in other words, it's not a step down in programming. It's appropriate for a lot of people. The difference would probably be the load. You would just probably feel stronger. That's all. Yeah. So stay in there and follow the Muscle Mommy 15. After that, try Performance 15, and you're going to keep doing great.
Yeah, just gauge that intensity based on like how good you feel sleep-wise and how much stress you're kind of carrying with you with that. And but that protocol is going to be the best in terms of volume and kind of stretching that out throughout the week.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of walking too throughout the day?
Yeah, so which we have like a yellow lab, which that helps with that. Usually we take him for 2 like decent walks a day, which works out nice. We usually do like after breakfast and after dinner.
Nice.
And so which is kind of like a lot of what you guys talk about, is trying to like walk after meals. And so I get like 8,000 to 10,000 steps just with playing with the kids and walking. I don't do any like outside cardio. No, but it is, it's really true what you guys say. Like I used to do hours in the gym, and then now the MAPS 15 is giving me the same result. So it is crazy.
You're killing it. You're killing it. You're doing it perfect. And the only thing I would add to this conversation is even, sometimes we ride every program in like these week blocks, but the way I'd have you run it, because you know your body so well, you're aware of your sleep, good nights, bad nights. If you miss one of the days that was scheduled, you just pick right back up where you don't need to run it like in these perfect week blocks. Just follow it as it's laid out. You know your body. If it was a really rough night or 2 in a row, take those nights off, pick right back up, and do it that way. It could be 3 days in a row, then a day or 2 off, 1 day in a row, then 2 days off. Like, don't worry about how it's blocked in the programming. Follow it according to how you feel and how you're getting rest, and you'll be fine.
Are you taking creatine?
Yeah, so there was a little while that I wasn't with breastfeed, which I am still breastfeeding, but now she's kind of spread out a little more. Because that was like the one thing that I feel like it hasn't been researched of with breastfeeding, like if they're getting creatine or if they're getting what you like process. So, but I have started taking it again.
Okay.
And yeah, I've taken it for years. I love creatine.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it's good for sleep deprivation. So up to like 10 to 15 grams a day spread out throughout the whole day. Yeah, as far as the safety is concerned, I'll let you look that up yourself. I know how I feel, but just for
I know, which that's what we, even my 4-year-old, we usually will like give him a little bit. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I do, like, I think it is so beneficial.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, great. We're going to send you Muscle Mommy 15. I think you're crushing. You look great.
Yep.
Thank
keep
you.
going. And there's going to be a season when you'll be able to do more working out.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
crushing
That's
it.
why it's just a season for right now. So I'm like, just getting through it.
Good job.
You're killing it, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank
got
you
it.
guys.
Yeah, I think, and I want people to understand, like that protocol, you could have great sleep. Try it. Watch what happens. Watch what happens to your gains. We get so many. It's one of those
strong and build muscle, no doubt.
I mean, how many messages do we get from people like, I didn't believe you guys, but I'm hitting PRs and I'm getting crazy.
You should challenge everybody to go through that.
It's amazing.
Our next caller is Andrea from Iowa.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
How can we help you?
All right. I'm a brand new listener, so I hope this is not a question that's been asked 100 times.
It's okay.
Even if it
Probably
was,
is.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We're used to it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm also pretty new to being consistent with my weight training and started to build out a gym in my house. I live in Iowa, so getting to a commercial gym is kind of a longer endeavor than I can do every day. Right now, my setup includes dumbbells, a small bar with some weights, a bench, ball bands, a pull-up bar, and a bike. I've had pretty good results from following just random YouTubers, but I'm really excited about what you guys are saying about your programs. I'm just curious what your suggestion is for a home gym, how realistic it is to achieve these results, and what I should prioritize going forward.
Yeah, you could do really well with what you got.
Yeah.
It's just workout programming, meaning exercise selection, rep range, how you apply them and order them. And it's even more complex what I'm saying, but programming makes the biggest difference. If you were to add anything, it would be like a squat rack. And if you had a squat rack with your barbell, dumbbells, adjustable bench,
You pretty much cover
you're
everything.
done. I mean, you get everything.
Yeah.
You really don't need.
That's all it's in my gym.
You don't need anything else. And there's other stuff you could add if you want, but you don't need it. But aside from that, what I would say, for how long have you been listening? You said you're a new listener. How long?
Just 2 months, probably.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right on.
Well, why don't we send you a workout program?
Yep.
And then you can follow ours.
And a suggestion, if you
Try it
so
out.
you probably haven't heard us then talk about PR. Are you familiar with PRX?
No.
So PRX is a collapsible rack in your garage. So I don't know if that's where it's at. Is it your gym in your garage or in a house?
In the basement, so I have a little bit of room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
basically
it literally will fold out
It
of
folds
the wall.
into the wall, and there's mounts that come for all the weights. You could literally park a garage or a car still in a garage where you have the whole entire gym. It's really cool.
But yeah, a squat rack would be it. But let me send you Maps Anabolic. And in there's a dumbbell only version, which you could totally use.
Okay.
And then
that's where I looked on the website, but it was hard to tell if there were home variations or what equipment you really needed.
Yeah. So Maps
some
Anabolic
of
is
them
like
do.
our flagship kind of foundational program, which, well, let me ask you this. So what's your experience with strength training? Let's start there before I recommend.
Not a lot. Before I had kids, it was easy to let casual running and jogging kind of keep me fit enough. And then after I had kids, it just wasn't sustainable and it didn't really feel good, right? Like it started to hurt my knees and I wasn't looking forward to doing it. And then that's when I started looking more into, I tried everything, all the different, classes and studios and whatever. But what was easiest for me to be consistent with is just doing it myself at home.
Okay. And then now that you've been doing some of it, how long have you been doing the strength training?
I've been really consistent for probably 6 months. I just finished a 10-week program that was 5 times a week for about an hour each time.
Okay. And are you resting in between sets, or is it circuit training? Is it traditional strength training? What does it look like?
It's kind of a hybrid. It's maybe like 45 to 60 seconds on and then 60 seconds off. So
Oh, wow.
a little bit faster than what you guys.
Andrea, we're gonna blow your
we're gonna
mind.
change it. We're gonna change
But
it.
it's gonna feel way less than what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. So Maps Anabolic.
Yeah.
Follow the dumbbell version, the dumbbell home version.
Okay.
You could do the 3-day-a-week version of it. That's all you'll be doing is 3 days a week. Make sure you stay active in between. Walking is fine.
Yeah, do the trigger session.
And then for nutrition, if you're not already doing this, try to hit your target body weight in grams of protein, stick to whole natural foods, and you're done. And that's it. And you're going to get great, consistent strength gains, results. Your body will shape, metabolism will speed up, the whole thing, everything we talk about.
Good long rest periods, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to feel uncomfortable.
90 seconds plus in between each set. The goal is to get stronger.
Strength. is
Each
your
time
focus.
you come back around to that week and you're doing that exercise again, hopefully you're adding a couple pounds to the bar or the dumbbell, whatever you're doing, and that's the goal.
If you're getting stronger, it's working.
Yes. Get stronger, hit your protein take. Also, let me drop some more things for you since you're kind of a new listener, all the resources that we have. So we have an AI tool called AskMindPump.com. It's like communicating with us. So as you're going through this process about anything about related to diet, exercise, program, anything, you have questions, you can literally go to AskMindPump.com and it'll shoot not only an answer to you, but it also link episodes where we've talked in length about that topic. So it's a really good resource. Also, anything you ever hear us talk about, whether it be supplements or brands or things that we like or use, you can go to mindpumppartners.com and there's like discount codes and links to all the stuff that we're always talking about. So those are two really good resources for you. But I'd also love to have Doug also put you in our private forum for free too. So now we can if you have access directly to us in there as you go through this, because I can't wait to hear how you feel when you go through.
It's going to blow your mind.
Yes.
Yep.
And as
I heard you guys talk the other day about kind of that first 3 years where you have most gains, so I don't want to waste that time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Good girl.
Yeah, you'll love
it.
If
The
you make
newbie
any
gains.
investment or make a Christmas present for yourself, squat rack. That'll be that'll be really valuable to your journey if this is something that you're going to make a lifestyle going forward.
Yep, I love it. I have a 12-year-old daughter who's takes more after my husband. She's naturally super strong, and she's starting to kind of loves to like hip check me in a hallway or something, and I can't wait to body her back, I guess.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, this will be great. You're going to love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll send that over to you. Doug will also get you access to the private forum. So if you got questions, ask us in there. And then I got you those resources. Can't wait to hear how this goes for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome.
You got it.
All right.
See you guys.
I knew if I asked her what her routine looked like, because she pulled it off YouTube or whatever, it was going to be some kind of circuit crap.
You're right.
Yeah, but
It's the typical program.
No. It's there's such a difference. There's people listening. If you've never
5 days a week of circuit.
I mean,
if you've never
3 days a week of anabolic
that's the
with rest periods.
expectation for most people, right? Yeah, they think it's
if
supposed
you've
to
never
be like that.
done real traditional strength training, you're in for a treat.
It's so hard though to say that because the average person doesn't think that's not traditional strength
that's
training.
right.
Well, they don't think it's enough.
Well, you guys know that that's not traditional strength training, but
I know.
when you say traditional strength training to the average person, that's barbells and dumbbells.
Yeah, they're like,
that's
oh,
nothing,
yeah.
that's
As
nothing
long
to
as it has
do.
weights.
Has nothing to do with the order in which you
Right.
you rep them out or the rest periods to do with it. It's traditional strength training for the average person. Is like you know what I'm
just
saying?
weights.
And it really
Yeah.
it revolves around the rest period for the most part. That's
That's
the
what makes
biggest difference.
strength training.
Yeah.
Our next caller is Jennifer from Canada.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Hello.
How can we help you?
Okay. Well, I was going to pull up my email, but I'll just go off memory, so hopefully I don't screw it up. But
No worries.
I am a new trainer. I did my NASM in August, and then I got my nutrition certification shortly after that. Anyways, I am working in a gym, doing some admin, also working up, building a client base there, but I'm doing a bunch of private coaching on the side. And something that's coming up frequently, and I just discovered your podcast I just want to learn. Like, I'm just so eager to learn and to be a really good trainer. And I've really been enjoying the podcast. So this reverse dieting thing is something that I'm just totally fascinated with. And I feel like I've experienced it unintentionally in my own weight journey. And so I would like to start. I have a couple of people in mind. I really want to start off on this reverse diet thing. The thing is, there's this imposter syndrome, right? But it's like, where do I go to know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to talk to these people and say, hey, I've got something here that I think is going to help you. I just want to be able to actually back up what I'm saying. And I totally believe everything you guys are saying because I've experienced it. It's just, where should I go to learn to be that trainer that can actually help people with this.
Let me help you with this part, Jennifer, and correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm hearing from you is, I know reverse dieting works. I've experienced it. My challenge is in how do I communicate it to somebody so that we can apply it the right way. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So think of it this way with the reverse diet. When you're communicating a reverse diet to someone, start here. Communicate the benefit of building and strengthening muscle. So that's easy. That's easy to do, or easier to do, I would say. So why do we want stronger muscle, and why do we want healthier muscle, and why do we want to build muscle? Well, there's a few reasons. One, it looks good. So, if you gain 3 pounds of muscle, you don't look bigger, but man, you look more sculpted and things feel more firm. It also improves hormone profile. It also tends to accelerate your metabolism, so you burn more calories on your own. It makes you more mobile, gives you more energy because it's such active tissue. So we start there. Then the second part is, now in order for that to happen, we have to feed it. Your body won't build muscle unless we feed your body appropriately. And so what that looks like is typically an increase in calories in a high protein diet in combination with strength training. And so that, what I just gave you was in a nutshell what a reverse diet is.
It also makes your fat loss journey much easier, since most of your clients are going to be hiring you for that reason, right? Most people are like, hey, I want to lose 30, 40 pounds. So what do you mean reverse diet, eat more? This sounds counterintuitive. But you explain to them, well, I could simply cut your calories from where they're at and we can lose a couple pounds by really restricting you. But then where do you go from there? And you're going to be very unhappy and unsatisfied with that low calorie. Where we'd be far better off is building your metabolism up, building some muscle, building some strength, and then it'll be much easier to lose the weight. And then not only will you lose the weight, but you'll also be at a higher calorie than you currently are right now and leaner than you are right now. And it'll be much easier to sustain that. So that's why we want to do this.
Yeah. So, and that's really it in a nutshell. That's really it, and how you communicate in a nutshell. And then how you coach it is you do it slow. Mm-hmm. And the coaching is in coaching them out of the fear part of it. Yeah. So they're doing it like, I'm eating more food. Oh, I gained a few pounds. The best way to coach that is to let them know ahead of time. You may go up a few pounds on the scale, but if we're getting stronger, here's probably what's happening. Don't worry. Trust the process. We're going to get things to speed up. This is going to make the fat loss so much easier later on. And then get them to focus on the strength gains and the changes in the gym, because it's a much more positive place to focus.
Jennifer, how long have you been listening to us for?
Oh boy, it's just been like the last couple of months.
Oh, cool.
I'm very new listener, but I've really been enjoying the content and I find it super valuable and it's been helpful for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, well then let me give you more resources. Well, first of all, our good friend Lane Norton wrote an incredible ebook on reverse dieting. So if you haven't seen his reverse dieting book, it's an ebook. It's worth it for the investment. If you're not familiar, but we have an incredible AI tool called AskMindPump.com, and literally prompt it however you want to learn about whatever you want. And we've probably talked about it not once, but 5 or 10 times. Right. And it'll answer in one of our voices, and it'll also link to all the episodes where we talked about that topic at length. Nice. So as you are going through stuff with your clients and you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do with this person, or you're not or unsure, use that resource for us, and you'll get a lot of value from that. We also have a ton of free guides at mindpumpfree.com, absolutely free to you resources that will help you. And then lastly, we launched just this last year a trainer podcast. So it's Kyle. Right. Yeah. All right. So if you're not listening to that, that's also super valuable too. So those are all some really good resources. And then one last thing, just getting ahead, we are doing this for our community in I think December 1st through the 7th we run this, but it actually might be worthwhile for you depending on where you're at with this reverse diet, is our coaches and trainers have a framework that we have created that take people through a reverse diet. It's a $99 coaching call that people can sign up for. I'm telling you ahead of time that it's going to go on sale for half off. So for $49, you can literally have one of our trainers take you through our framework. And, for that small of investment, I would encourage you to take advantage of it, listen to it, take it for your own and use reverse engineer it for yourself. That might also be beneficial, but those are all the resources that we got for you already.
Okay, that's awesome. May I ask one more quick question?
Yeah,
Of course.
On the reverse diet thing. So let's say I have someone who says, "Oh, I've already been eating in a surplus. I feel like I'm still gaining weight." What do you mean eat more?
Yeah, well, it depends. You'd want to have them track, and then look, they may be eating a surplus and gaining weight. That's when you would look at the macros and food quality.
They almost always are. In fact, they are almost always going to say that, but they're going to probably be low protein, high carbohydrate, high saturated fat.
And there's also just the food quality, makes a difference because you can also
Gluten intolerances too.
Here's where the coaching really comes into play, Jennifer. A lot of it is around fear, and a lot of it is in building trust.
Yeah.
And so what it may look like initially, because you got to feel this out with a client. If I have someone that's really scared, I want to lose 70 pounds. I might not even start by talking about a reverse diet. I might start, and oftentimes I did start by saying, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have you eat whole natural foods, and we're going to try and hit your protein intake. Now I know I'm kind of reverse dieting, at least in the protein sense, but I also know I'm telling them, eat as much as you want. Let's see what happens. And they're going to lose weight because it tends to result in appropriate caloric intake. So this is where the coaching comes into play, because oftentimes I wasn't saying, I'm going to increase your calories because the person's terrified. So I'm just saying, we're going to hit your protein, eat that, stick to whole natural foods, and then we're just going to work out. And that's where we're going to start. Later on, we're going to worry more about your diet. And I would just say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you got it.
Good stuff.
You got it. Yeah. Thanks for calling in. I'm glad I'm glad you're working in our space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
It
I
is.
love it.
It is. It's a great career.
It's opportunity.
Stick with it, and we've got a lot of great resources for you. So looking forward to it.
When was that? You said December 1st. Where do I find
Is that right, Doug?
Reverse?
Yeah, so it's reversedietcall.com.
It's not live yet, though, right, Doug?
It was not today. I don't believe it's live. I can double check on that. But
Yeah, it's not live yet, but it will be live.
It will be live here shortly. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Right on,
Thank
Jennifer.
you so much.
Thank
You got it.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Yeah, this the thing with coaching is there's a lot of nuance with depending on who you're working with.
Well, that's I thought we gave her a good answer.
I did,
but
too.
That's going to just be reps.
Yeah,
because that's never. I mean,
we've
been doing, you're not going to nail down that conversation.
Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time, and that's still a tough conversation.
Of course,
it gets easier because you've had it so many times, and you predict what a lot of people are going to say.
And, you've worked with those people. You're like, I'm not even going to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Just going to make
it's a
you
great
run
point. You don't want to present
direction.
that because you present the fear right away.
Well, exactly. There's some people I put on a reverse diet that don't know they're going on a reverse diet.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just go, hey, let's see where you're at.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, these are the things we're focused on. And I'm managing that without them really knowing what you're doing. Because if you tell them, I'm going to have you eat more, they're
resistance
terrified.
immediately.
So, it'll come with good practice. But she's,
you got to trick them.
It's all for the cause, Sal.
That's right. All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. Stop doing 3 sets of 12 to build muscle and do this instead. You guys want to guess?
Stop doing the 3 sets of 12 and do this instead. With that intro, my guess is you're going to tell people to change the rep range
5
up
by
to 5 by 5 or low rep range.
Do you guys remember
the
when
angle you're going?
Yeah, so oftentimes we get stuck in like a set count and a rep count or a range that's